off camera talking stuff about Rachel hanging out late with us, but that's another subject.
Stuff to do.
Yeah, it's Relationships, Romance, and Propaganda podcast, the sexiest podcast on the planet. It's Imani, Shakur, director Rachel K. Burke, author, actress. Check her books out, Love Bites and Sound Bites, a rock and roll love story. You can catch these on Amazon, Google, where you get your books. Check those out. Those are fun. You know what I mean? And you can check out the work that I do. Just Google me. Everything's in the description. You can check out some of our work. You know what I'm saying? I never talk about the work that we do.
I know.
We have some great stuff going on.
Yeah.
Talking about that, shameless plug.
Yeah.
TV show that we did that we're doing with Vice got like 10 million views in 2 months on Facebook.
That's great.
On one commercial. So
Nice.
Vice is like super happy.
Nice.
Hopefully when they release in the US version
Put
this
a white
year.
girl in your stuff sometimes.
Yeah, hopefully we get season 2 once they release it in the US.
Yeah, that's all I get cast.
Yeah.
It's like I'm always like the token white girl in like black movies. I swear to God.
Oh, serious?
I was just in a film about like police brutality and racism. And I was like the token, like the cop's wife, like the blonde idiot, who he shoots a black kid and kills him. And I have to be like the naive wife, like sticking up for my husband.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Well, we got to put Rachel in some other stuff, some better stuff.
And then we do these comedy sketches, and I swear it's like all black people and me. And I'm like and he's always like, all right, I want you to walk off with Rachel. I'm always like the token hot white girl.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is.
Makes sense. But I'm sure you have acting chops too that you can dig deep into a role. You know what I mean?
I can. Certain things.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, we expose the truth and broadcast the lies every week. Don't forget to subscribe on ISENT Group Digital. Catch us where you get your podcasts. We're everywhere. Keep supporting. Click like, stars, all that good stuff. rptalktruth@gmail is the email if you'd like to email us. And once again, everything is in the description. Hit us up on social media. Feel free. We will respond. And thanks for watching. So this week we're talking about how texting changed dating, and it really has. And it's funny, we were talking about
so many notes.
The avoidant thing and how we were sending text and not getting responses, but yet the person is doing other things that we can see. We won't bust ourselves out. But yeah, texting has changed dating tremendously.
Hate it.
So let's jump into this thing real quick. I hate it too. I think it's ridiculous.
I think you should jump it off this time because you haven't jumped it off yet.
Okay, I'm gonna jump it off. And the first thing I want to say is, guys, I don't want to age myself, but I remember before cell phones and all this stuff existed, when you would get a text on a pager.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
143.
Yes, and all that stuff.
911. If you were anxious.
Right. And you would stop at a payphone, put a quarter in.
Totally.
And you'd make the call, set up the date, and this, that, and the other. Those are the old days. No one could just...
Oh, no. Let's go even older. Did you ever have those phones with the really long cord and you'd like bring it into the basement? I don't know if you had basements where you grew up, but like we would have like the phones with the real long cords and like I'd bring it into the basement. It was so long.
It was so long. We had a cord like 300 yards.
And then did you ever have a cordless that you had to change the channel because it got too
staticky? Yep, those were the days, man. But the funny thing about it though is dating back then was much better because of the lack of the technology we have today.
I know.
No one would take communication for granted.
Yeah.
Back then, someone would actually call you. You would call them back, and so on and so forth.
And you would get to know
Engagement
people.
was taken way more seriously because you literally had to get on the phone and you would exchange a voice.
Do you remember?
You would hear that person.
Oh my God, I have so many notes. I have so many things to say.
Yeah,
Do you remember like when you were in high school and you'd stay up, you'd like fall asleep on the phone with your
Done it many times. Exactly.
Or if you had a crush on someone, did you ever come home to like a note on your door, like so and so called, and you were like, they called me.
Those were the days. Because you couldn't hide behind a phone back then. You would actually engage. You would actually set up a date through a phone and you would go pick the person up. It was nothing like it is right now.
And you just there was like this sense of intimacy.
Yeah.
It's like you got to know people and you had long conversations. There's this meme I read recently and it said, someone decided phone calls were too awkward, so they decided to send really quick letters. Like talking about texting, and it's like so true.
Yeah.
But also too, like you were saying, when you got broken up with. On text too, you can't tell the tone of the person.
You can't.
Right? And it's
Can't
like,
tell the inflection. Can't tell the tone.
I could be chill and you're reading that as like,
You're
I'm
reading
angry.
that completely wrong. Yep.
I don't like that. And like, and I get mad about stuff in my head that's like so stupid. Like if we had a phone conversation about it, I wouldn't even be mad. Like I was telling you yesterday when I was talking to that guy and he was going through something and I must have said the wrong thing because he, I was like, everything's going to be fine. And he was like, well, still, it hurts, to be accused of this. And I was like, oh, Jesus, like I can't say anything right here.
Right.
So finally I just said, you know what? Call me if you need to vent. Or like, I'm here if you want to call me to vent. Because it was one of those things, it's like, instead of texting me this whole story, just call me. Let's talk about it.
Yes.
Like we're humans. Let's communicate.
Yeah, man. I mean, texting has its advantages and disadvantages, but I think there's a big disadvantage in relationships. What I do like about texting on the other side of it is that I could literally be working on a script or editing something and have a full conversation with my manager through text without being interrupted. Yeah. I do like that part.
That's fine. But
that's
relationships,
fine. When it comes to relationships, though, it sucks.
Unless it's like, hey, I'm running a few minutes late, or there's a line, do you want to go to this restaurant instead? If it's something quick, that's okay. But, like I think I was just saying this in the last episode. I almost didn't even go out with the guy I was dating because he was driving me nuts on text. Because he was texting stupid stuff like, I went food shopping. And I was like, ugh. Like, why is he texting me the stupid stuff? Ask me when we're going out. Ask me what I like to do. Ask me what time. Right.
Stuff like that.
And so it's so funny because sometimes people's text personalities don't reflect their in-person personalities, right?
It doesn't.
Because my ex,
and you get the wrong inflections. You don't know how it's coming across, what tone it's coming across in.
And like sometimes people have big and I'm actually one of them. Like sometimes people have big personalities, but they're crappy texters. You know what I mean? Right. So my ex was like that. He wasn't a texter. So if I texted him a question, he would just call me. But I loved that because like, and this is what I really wanted to like say during this episode is texting has taken the whole process of getting to know someone. Like it takes so much longer now. Because normally you have long phone conversations with people and you talk about your past and what you're looking for and just like everything you ask when you're getting to know somebody, right? I want to tell you about me and my past and what I want, and I want to hear about you. And texting has taken all of that out of it. And so it's like made people lazy, I feel like. And the frustrating thing is when you are dating somebody who doesn't live in your area. Right. So even though my ex lived like an hour and a half away, he called me every day. So even though I could only see him because he had kids, it's like I could only see him initially like twice a week. We got to know each other so quick. Because he called me every day and we talked for an hour every day. It wasn't like a 5-minute call. We talked for an hour during his commute every day. So we were in a relationship by month 3 and it felt so organic and natural. No, I'm sorry, by month 1. By a month in, we were in a relationship. Because I felt like by the end of that month, I knew him so well because we talked every day. And it was outlined what we want, what our history is. So that was great.
And if you're texting, you can't really...
You don't get in here.
You can't really get in
there. It's like surface level stuff. How was your day? I don't want to talk about how your day was, to be quite honest. I want to know what you want. What are your fears? What are you looking for? Who was the first person who ever broke your heart? I want to really get in here and have deep conversations. I don't care if you just went food shopping. That's great. It doesn't really matter to me at the end of the day. But it's tough because I'm now.
But it's tough. You don't care if you went food shopping.
No, or if you wanted to snow. So it's tough. So I'm now dating a guy who lives out of state. And he loves to text. And he texts me every day. And it's like...
Did you tell him?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he calls me sometimes, but it's like I get these 5-minute phone calls in the middle of the day when he's like, in the middle of all this work. And it's like, why don't you like, why don't you call me at the end of the day when you're done with all that, when we can actually have a longer conversation?
Right.
And I finally just said to him the other day, I was like, what? Because he will disappear at night, and I'll look at his Instagram and it's like he's been offline for like 10 hours, and I'm like, what is he doing? So we finally had a conversation the other day, and I said, what are you doing like all night? Because you go off the grid. And he said, I'm usually with clients till like 9:30, 10 at night on the nights I don't have my son, and then I'm just exhausted. And then when I have my son, I just fall asleep by 9 because I'm exhausted. And I'm like, okay, I think he just doesn't have the time to be doing that. So it's like he's trying to fit me in when he can. But the calls do help. Even now, when I just talked to him, I was like, that was so helpful.
Yeah.
Even though we had like a 10-minute conversation.
Hop on a call, man.
Because like he was texting me about all this stuff that he's like, it's like a custody battle he has going on. And I'm like, can we talk about this on the phone? Yeah. Like, this is a serious conversation.
It's not something you're going to be texting back and forth.
And he's trying to text me, and I'm trying to say the right things, and it's like not the right things. So he finally just like explained the whole situation. And I was like, well, why is she doing this? What's going on? And he told me the whole backstory, and I was like, oh, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah.
But like that was so helpful. But I'm like, I really wish you could call me more every day. But it's funny because when I'm with him, I have his attention 100%. Like he is not on his phone at all.
Right.
But because we don't live in the same place, it's like I just feel like it's gonna prolong so much to get to that point. Right?
I have a question for you. How do you plan on dealing with the long distance aspect of this relationship?
Well, here's the thing. He lives right near my dad. And my mom is 2 hours from there. I am there the bulk of the later part of the year. Usually every year. Okay. Because every year I go there for at least a month in the summer. This year I'll probably be there for like 2 months for holidays, close to it, because I'll be there for Thanksgiving and Christmas this year.
Yeah, just like last time, right? Yeah.
I wasn't there for Thanksgiving this year, but this year my sister's going for Thanksgiving, so I'll probably stay till Christmas. And the thing is, I bought a place now that I can rent out anytime, so it's okay. Like this time of year, I'm not there a lot because it's winter. No thanks. And this is the time of year where I'll pick up like an HR contract gig for like 3-4 months and bank away some money. So we outlined all of that. Because I have 2 sisters getting married on the East Coast this summer. I have 2 concerts there, so I'm there.
Okay,
I'm there a lot.
So you'll be able to.
Yeah, he owns a company. He can come here sometimes. Like, it's fine. We'll work it out. But this is the frustrating part, is that he's a texter, and it's like I appreciate the daily texts of like, okay, if that's all the time you have to send a text, fine. At least you're thinking of me, and I'm hearing from you.
How old is he?
39.
Oh, okay, it's not bad. Yeah.
Yeah, but I wish there was more phone conversations.
So just tell him.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I'm going to.
Okay.
But I'm going to see him this weekend.
Yeah. Just be like, hey, I really like.
I'm going to, but I feel like I think he calls me like when he can.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna. I mean, it's a little early to be making demands, but you know me.
That's what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
I don't know how exactly early it is, but
it's pretty. It's like we.
It's pretty early.
It's basically we met a month ago, and now we talk every day. So it's like it feels like we're in this long distance relationship.
Right.
But I want to see him again because I'm going to see him a lot next week when I'm there.
Right.
And then we'll have to outline some
Got you. Yeah.
You
can
we'll get there.
You can kind of establish some parameters.
Boundaries, guys. Yes, healthy boundaries.
And expectations and all that good stuff.
Because secure attachment people communicate what they want.
Do you know what he is on our list? Like
he seems
avoidant,
he
secure,
seems very secure,
anxious. Oh, he's secure?
Yeah, because like one of the when I read.
Well, you're secure. That's one aspect of it that'll make it work.
This is the first. I think this is the first non-avoidant I've had in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything seems like it's lining up. Yeah, because he makes plans in advance, and he is actually very good about that. Like that is the good thing with texting, because he works a lot and has his kid and has a house in Maine that he's like fixing up. So it's like, okay, because I told him, I'm like, these are the days I'm going to be there. He's like, okay, I'm going to be home Sunday this time. Let's do that. I blocked off my calendar Monday at this time, and Wednesday night, I'm all yours after 4. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. That's perfect. I can hang with my dad and my sister the other days. But he was very good with outlining like days and times. And that's what they say secure people do, is like, they're very reliable.
Yeah.
They communicate. So yeah, so far so good. And he's been married before, so I don't anticipate he has commitment issues. I actually think the opposite. I feel like he kind of is one of those people that like rushes in, that becomes like enamored with somebody.
He's Aries, you said, right?
Yeah.
Aries are cool though, man.
I've never been with one. He was my first
Yeah,
one.
Aries are cool, and that's a good. Aries is a good match.
Yeah, for us, because air and fire is good together.
Mm-hmm. If you're checking that one of the things off your list, that's a good match. For
yeah,
Aries.
But I know it's like I miss the days when you would just like talk to someone for hours
and get on you hop on the call.
Yeah, really get in.
Yeah, why not? It's funny because you know, a while ago I'd met someone, and this was when I was still on the dating apps and stuff, and she hit me up and we'd exchanged numbers, and one of the first, and it's so funny because she messaged me and said, "Hey, can I call?" And I said, "Sure, yeah,
yes, please."
And I remember when we met after that for the first time, she was so surprised that she brought it up. She goes, "You have no idea. I was so happy that you were okay with hopping on a call. You have no idea how many people just want to text. And I want to hop on a call. So thank you for responding so quickly."
Well, it's almost like people don't know how to use the phone anymore. It's like they'll watch their phone ring. You know what I mean? It's like, they're calling me.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What do I
disconnecting.
Do? Yeah.
And then when they get on the phone, they don't know what to say.
Right.
Or how to
it's
talk.
Like this like social anxiety.
Yeah.
But you know why I think I like talking, and because you probably do too, is that it's a different type of personality. Because I grew up, like my first job was a call center, and so I was on the phone all the time. It's essentially kind of salesy. And like I like guys who have that personality. They're kind of like in sales or in something where they have to be on the phone. Because my ex was in sales, and I think that's why he called me all the time. This guy has he does finance, but he owns a company and he has a lot of clients. So I think he's on the phone a lot. So I like those guys that are just like kind of go-getters. They got the business sense. They're on the phone a lot. I don't want no wuss who like hides behind a text. Like
that's what a lot of people are doing now, hiding behind text.
And I feel like, don't you feel like it's made people lazy when it comes to dating?
Yep.
Like, because going
back, it makes them not respect communication in dating.
Yes.
They take it for granted. It's like, I can answer that whenever.
And it's like going back to our pen pal episode. I feel like some people, it's almost like they don't even want to put in that effort of meeting you or talking to you. They just like at the end of the day want someone to talk to because they feel lonely. Maybe like it's like you're filling a void. Yeah. But no, I want more than that. Like, get off your butt and take me on a date. Right. You know, I'm not here to fill a void and text you sweet nothings all night with no end result. Right. No thanks.
And that's all they want to do. Ugh. That's all they want to do.
And also too, like, and I've told you this, like, I'm such a voice person that I'm very attracted to people's voices.
And you told me that before.
And this is, and if guys on apps like would call me before we went out, I think I would know so much better.
If you want to meet them,
I would want to go out with them. Because I had to block a guy today on Facebook because he has been messaging me for years and I don't respond. And now I think something's wrong with you. Can you imagine sending a girl
4 years?
For years. Like probably...
Well, you said for years, not 4 years, but for years.
But probably like 3 years.
Wow.
And every couple of months, he'll be like... Because I talked to him at first. I found a video of him online. I didn't like his voice.
I think you told me about this guy.
Yeah. I just had to block him today. Again.
Wow.
Imani, he was like, TGIF, Rachel. And I'm like, are you kidding me? 3 years of unresponded to.
You can't get the message, bro?
Like now... And I'm not mean, but I want to be like, is something psychologically wrong with you that I have not responded to you for 3 years and you still
hoping, hitting me up?
What's wrong with you? It's like, bro, I watched a video, didn't like your voice. Like, I can't really say that to somebody.
Right. You know? Yeah, we don't want to be mean. We talked about that one episode too. Like, do people rather be told the truth or lied to when you remember we talked about that?
Yeah, or I'll just block you.
And you were like, people, you rather just lie to them and not say anything. And I'm the type of person who like to rather tell them.
I don't want to say that to him because it's not very nice to say.
Yeah, I know.
But I wouldn't, but it's been years and it's like like, Merry Christmas, Rachel. Happy New Year, Rachel. Today was TGIF, Rachel. What are your plans for the weekend? I'm like, is this guy joking? It has been years that I have not sent one reply. Not one. And so today I was just like, all right, I got to block him. This is ridiculous. So I did. But
he must have had high hopes.
And this is why
he's like, I'm not giving up.
Well, and
she might respond one day. Poor guy.
because now,
sorry guys.
Now, oh no, it's starting to go.
When we start losing likes,
I know.
audience.
But also, before we go, also what I'll say about the voice though too is sometimes the voice doesn't always match.
Right.
Because remember, I told you even when I talked to this guy on the phone, I was like, I didn't love, even just now when I was talking to him, I was like, I don't love him on the phone, but in person, I love him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't love his voice on the phone, but it doesn't always match, but it, it definitely helps.
Yeah.
But the other thing I want to say about this too is the sexting stuff.
That I don't do and I've never dealt with.
Me neither.
That's new to me.
It's weird because it's another thing that I feel like that's made like men lazy. It's like you don't want to get off your couch and get a girl in real life. You want to sext her. Right.
So what's sexting? Just like sending them dick pics or something? Or
oh my God, that's so funny you said that. I just had a dream. I just remembered a dream I had last night that I got my first dick pic. I've never got one.
Good for you. We covered that topic.
No, I don't want one. No thanks.
Yeah.
They're not, we don't want to look at them.
Women
they're not pretty.
Yeah. Women don't want to look at that.
It's like, I want to do this to you.
Oh, and all that stuff.
Like dirty talk.
Like dirty talk on text.
So, yeah.
What's the point of that? Just go over and do it.
Because they want to jack off.
I've never done that. That would not turn me on.
Because it's like, because you're a normal person who can get girls in real life.
Yeah. Why would I do that?
But so that's why guys will do catfishing online.
Mm-hmm.
Because they want a girl to sext with. Because, I'm so happy my friend told me that this happened to his wife. Otherwise, I would have totally fallen for it. So, ladies, be wary of the guys on dating apps who are too good looking that want to sext. Mm-hmm. It's not them.
Right.
So I told you about this because you had asked what a reverse image was. So,
yeah, you did tell me about this. Yeah.
So my friend's wife was on this app and talking to this guy, gorgeous, gorgeous pictures, but his text sounded like he's retarded. He's like,
horrible, yeah.
Like, I want to have a 69. And I was like,
how about 68?
How about 0? So I was like, 69? He sounds kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Like, what is this? And he goes, oh, she thinks it's like a bot or, like it's not him. And so, yeah, she reverse imaged the picture of somebody totally different. So luckily he told me that. So I was in Palm Springs and I was on this dating app and this guy is so good looking. Like all his pictures are so good looking. And I was like, oh, I'm in Palm Springs too. Like, let's meet up. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, I'm a pilot. I just left.
Oh, my goodness.
And I was like, oh, okay. But he's like, let's keep in touch because I'll be back there again soon. I go, okay. I totally fell for it at first. But the next day, his profile was deleted. And I was like, hey, why'd you delete your profile? And he's like, oh, I get sick of dating apps sometimes. And I just delete them. No, someone else flagged him.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay. I still didn't know what was up.
Yeah.
The next night, I get a text from him. He goes, I think he meant to text somebody else, to be honest, because we hadn't dirty texted at all. I don't do that. And he goes, hey, so I was thinking about what we talked about, and I'm all hot and bothered right now. And I was like, oh, it's not him. That wasn't him. Mm-hmm. So guys will do that. They find pictures of like these guys that look like models, like really good looking. Mm-hmm. They'll conveniently be out of town and then they'll want to sex with you.
They'll act like,
Yeah, and their profile's deleted. I'm like, lies.
That's interesting.
No, but it's a thing. Like some
That's craziness.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I don't know. I don't like it. I miss the art of the phone, of communication.
Yeah, I mean, people need to get back into that.
Yeah, it's like go back to like chivalry.
Down. Yeah. Put the phones down.
Like treat your lady nice.
Yeah.
Call her, get to know her. Don't text just feels
try and call more.
Text feels lazy. Man. Yeah. I don't like it.
I completely agree. It's funny, someone texted me yesterday or the day before and I said, just call me.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. It was silly.
Yeah. I know. And I was happy because when I was going to meet this guy for our date for the first time, we were like going back and forth with plans. And finally he goes, can I call you to talk about this? Because I think it'd be easier than text. And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Because I was driving 2 hours to go meet him. That's how far it was from. I was still at my mom's. And because my sister had said this to me, because before, and this is a good thing to talk about too. before she met her husband on Match.com.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, before we met, we really built up a foundation because like at first it was emails. Then we had these long phone conversations and really got to know each other. So she said, by the time I met him, I already felt like I knew him.
Yeah.
You know, so they really built that up before they met. And so that she was like, before you drive all that way, have a phone date with him, you know, just like to make sure. And
just the vibe.
And I was like, yeah, that's good. So I was so happy he said that day because I was planning on like trying to talk to him before I went out there. But it's funny because I still wasn't 100% sold, but it wasn't a no either. It was just like, it's a maybe. Yeah. It's funny how that can happen.
Yeah. Video conferencing is even good too if you can get some of that going.
Yeah, I feel that's a little. I feel a little awkward doing that because I feel like you're looking at yourself. It's like, do I look good?
Yeah.
Do I have good lighting?
That's funny. It's funny because the first time she went out of town, she wanted the video because she went out of town for work a lot.
Okay.
So I did it, and then the second time, she wanted to, and I purposely didn't do it.
Who is this?
My most recent ex.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I purposely didn't do it because I saw what was happening with that thing, and I said, no, let's not video chat.
Okay.
Just with the whole with the avoidant thing.
Got it.
I saw what was happening with the avoidant thing.
Okay, you felt it.
And I said, no, I don't want a video chat
Step
this
back.
time.
Yeah.
I started to step back because I saw what was happening.
Yeah.
Because I'm very intuitive.
Yeah.
So, because even though she wanted to video chat again, I decided against it because
Yeah.
I saw what was happening.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's inevitable.
So yeah, I mean,
You
but
know.
it goes into what we're talking about now. I mean, because texting was an issue, but then people asked for something further.
Texting was an issue because of the non-responsiveness.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're very responsive.
Right.
I know.
Because of the non-responsiveness.
I know, because it was funny when I texted you to see when you wanted to shoot this month, and I didn't hear back from you for a whole day, and I was like, "Is he dead?" Like, because you're always so responsive. Yeah.
Yeah. And I am responsive because I take communication seriously, no matter what form it's on.
Yeah, you're very good at it.
Yeah, and I understand people may be busy and at work, and I get that too. And sometimes I'm like that, and I'll just say, "Hey, I'm busy" or whatever.
But it's like as busy as I am, I always have a minute to text.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like unless I'm the only time in like the past year I was not with my phone was because I did a commercial for the Church of Scientology. Don't ask. And it's actually a beautiful grounds that they live in, but they take your phone and they lock it away.
Okay.
But they still give it back to you during breaks. Right. So it's like no one is ever without their phone for more than a couple hours. You know what I mean? So I just think that's such like BS.
I think it's an excuse.
Yeah,
I agree.
it is.
Because to me, if it's a legitimate form of communication, it should be used as such. Don't hide behind that and act like, oh, because it's a text, I don't have to respond until I finish doing whatever. Especially when I see you on social media, as we
that actually about. It gives me anxiety when I don't respond right away.
It does too. I'm like, damn, this is not cool. Let me respond.
Yeah, because I like every day I have a to-do list of like everything I have to do. And I love, I like doing things, checking them off, doing them, checking them off. And that's just like one more thing I have to do. So in the back of my mind, when I don't respond, it's like, okay, I gotta write them back. I gotta write them back.
I'm the same way.
I would rather just write them back, you know.
And I'm like that because I have respect for that person's communication.
Right. Their time. Yeah. That's what it comes down to.
It's simple. It's not about, wanting anything out of the ordinary or anything.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And again, when we're talking about off camera, with today's social media, we can see if you're doing other things and not replying.
So if you don't respond to me and then I see you on Instagram 5 minutes ago.
Or Facebook or whatever. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. You can literally see that these days when someone's around.
And I'm looking every time. So I thought I was crazy for doing this. And then Imani goes, oh no, I do the same thing. And I was like, high five.
Yeah. Because it's not cool. It's not
crazy.
Cool.
He's like, I hate that.
It's not crazy, and it's not cool to do.
It's like if you have time to check your Instagram, you have time to text me back.
Right.
Okay.
Even if you're busy, just say, hey.
Looking at you.
Yeah, even if you're busy, just say, hey, I'm working. I'll hit you up.
Yeah.
And if you just say that even.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
It's crazy, man. Before we close out, I want to read this thing that I posted. I don't know if you read it or not, but it's funny. Facebook reminded me that this is something I posted a year ago.
Okay.
And it was a year ago, January 13th.
Okay.
And I actually said somewhere on earth is my location. And this was, and I think I saw it on Good Quotes, the Instagram page.
Okay.
And it says, what's wrong with messaging first or liking their selfies and commenting on their posts? What's wrong with replying to a text immediately or calling to tell them you missed them? What's wrong with showing you care?
Right.
Take down your pride a notch and be genuine with your feelings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Good Quote posted that, and I framed it and reposted it a year ago, and it came back on my Facebook on the 13th, 4 days ago. Well, I said, I gotta repost
Well, when you do that, you're going to attract the right person, right? If you show you're interested, if you communicate. Yeah, if you don't, if you're like, I'll hit them up when I'm free.
What's wrong with replying to a text immediately?
No.
Yeah, or calling. What's wrong with that? Like, nothing, people. Like,
yeah, those people will
let's get
those
it together.
People.
Yeah.
They can match up with each other. You can text all day long, okay?
Right.
But
or not reply all day long.
Yeah, or check your Instagram and not reply.
all day long. Anyway, guys, that's our show, man. Like, respect communication, listeners. Stop hiding behind these cell phones, man. If you use texting to communicate, reply. It is considered now in our time a legitimate form of communication.
But what I'm going to say is if you start dating somebody, call them.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like because you're going to expedite that relationship. If you really like someone, you're going to get to know them so much faster.
Yeah.
And really, figure out if that person is for you. And it's like a lost art that it shouldn't be lost.
Yeah.
I think especially, and nowadays it's like sometimes you date people that don't live near you.
Right.
And so you need the art of the phone.
Yeah.
Give good phone.
I
give good phone.
Yeah. Go back to that. That's what I have to say. So that is our show. We expose the truth and broadcast the lies every week. It is Imani, Shakur, Rachel K. Burke. Don't forget to subscribe on ISENT Group Digital, and you can get us wherever you watch your podcast or get your podcast. If you're listening on YouTube and you want to just listen in the car and not watch us, we're everywhere where podcasts exist and they stream. Thanks for checking in. And we will see you guys next week. Everything is in the description. rptalktruth@gmail is the email if you want to hit us up. And don't be shy.
Give us some suggestions.
Give us some suggestions on what we should be talking about. Like our friend in Brazil. What's her name?
Oh, yeah.
Let's give her a shout out. What's her name?
Mary.
Mary in Brazil. Keep listening. Give us some ideas. All right. And we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Bye.